All right. Came back just in time while the song ended. I literally just put my headphones on right now. Welcome to the stream. Time for a new game. We're going to be doing a little Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, I believe is the subtitle of this game. So, a couple days ago, I started up a couple other PS2 exclusive games. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm going through these exclusive titles that I never played as they were coming out. Always had my eye on them, and some of them even had my interest, but for whatever reason, I just never played them. Sly Cooper was one of those. I'd say out of the three that I'm doing, Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, and Sly Cooper, this one probably piqued my interest the most. I also had a couple friends that played the series as well, so there were multiple motivations for me wanting to play this particular game, but just never happened. So I decided that with three series, I might as well just try all three of these games first installments, and whichever one I end up liking the most, I guess maybe I'll just go through and play the rest of that series. Seems like an interesting concept to me, so that's what we're doing. We started up Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter a couple days ago. I'm going to try and do 2 games tonight. We'll see how that goes. It is a work night after all, but I think I could probably squeeze it in. But we're going to do some Sly Cooper, and we're going to do Jak. I explained this back on the Rise of the Tomb Raider stream I did yesterday, but I decided I didn't want to do Ratchet and Clank doubled up with any of the games because that one apparently takes a long time to beat compared to these other two. So I think if I'm doing 2 games in one, I might just pair it up with these two because they both seem to be about the same length in terms of gameplay. At least what all accounts say, such as how long to beat. And when we do Ratchet and Clank, I might just do that on its own. Put a couple extra hours into it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So I was thinking of actually playing this on a PlayStation 2 and just using the RetroTink. But I gave this a little try on my backwards compatible PS3. It seemed to play okay. Normally, if it plays alright right off the bat, that probably means it's going to be fine throughout the duration of the gameplay, but you never know. I'm going to give it a try, though, and hopefully we won't have any problems. As I described in one of my previous streams, too, this disc was horribly, horribly scratched when I initially got it, and I took it to get resurfaced, and it looks okay now. I'm kind of hoping that it stays okay, but you never know. At least with the PS3, there's a stronger optical drive on it, so maybe it can kind of persevere and push through any blemishes. Okay, just checking my volume levels and everything. Seems like we're okay, so I think we're good to go. Oh my god, he has hair under there. Okay.
Sly! Come in! Sly! Do you read me?
Yeah,
right off the bat.
I read you. Loud and very loud.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Trying to break into police headquarters does that.
Get over it, Bentley. You're safe in the van. I'm the thief here. I've got to steal that file from Inspector Carmelita Fox.
Well, count on me to be your eyes and ears, buddy. Got their security system totally scoped. To get inside, you're gonna have to go through that air vent.
All right, I'm going in.
And don't forget you got me at the wheel, Sly. All you gotta do is grab the file and get back to the van. We'll do the rest.
Just keep that engine running, Murray. I'll be down in no time.
Alright. Gameplay starts right off the bat. Already one of my least favorite things. And I don't think we could change it either. Let me see. Because when I was testing this game, I tried to look at this too. What a crew, right? Turrets, binocucom, jetpack. Oh, okay. I guess I can't change that. Alrighty then. Yeah, this was the same issue that was in Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. What a surprise. When I turn left, the camera turns right. When I turn right, the camera turns left. It's reversed. But of course, those games we saw with the other two games, that is considered normal for some reason. I don't know why. I don't like it. I'll get used to it, sure, but I don't like it. So, oh well.
Hey, Bentley, I think I'm seeing things. Must be vertigo or something. Can you see those crazy blue lights?
Really? I've read about this. Master raccoon thieves are able to sense thieving opportunities, which manifest themselves as unexplainable blue auras. According to my research, all you have to do is get near them and hold down the circle button, and you should perform a super sneaky master thief move.
Hold down the circle button near blue auras. I'm on it.
Eloquent way of putting it, yes. I like the sneaking music. For some reason, the voices and like the character designs remind me of the Spy Fox game series, the point-and-click adventures from Humongous Entertainment. Starring Sly Cooper. Sly's voice sounds, I don't know, he doesn't sound as suave as I thought he might. He sounds a little more like just some dude, but I guess it's alright.
Be careful here, Sly. Break one of those laser beams and you'll set off the alarms. Not to mention, you'll be fried to a crisp.
Oh, they're deadly, eh? This one already feels a little bit more dynamic than the other two games.
Nice job, you're in. Inspector Carmelita Fox's office is behind the red door.
Can we look in other offices while we're here? Guess not. Less wanted, or le wanted. Some kind of raccoon man. Apparently it's not Sly.
That door must be super reinforced, Sly. Maybe there's a way to get around it.
Way ahead of you. Oh, leaving the window open. It's like you want me to break in. Huh, there are a couple destructible things. I don't know what the coins do, but I'll collect them regardless.
Way to go, Sly. This is where Inspector Carmelita Fox stashes all her important files. I hacked into the police security mainframe and discovered this vault's combo. Try dialing in 937.
Nice job! You got it! If you come down through the fire escape and head through the parking lot, we'll be waiting in the getaway van.
Ah, a calling card. Literally. Thank you, Magnus. Appreciate the lurk. Thank you, thank you.
Criminal! You foolish raccoon. I've
There
caught
she
you
is.
red-handed.
Ah, Carmelita. I haven't seen you since I gave you the slip in Bombay.
Which reminds me, you need to return the Firestone of India to its rightful owners.
And I was gonna give it to you as a little token of my... Hey, you know, that bazooka really brings out the color of your eyes. Very fetching.
You think? This pistol packs a paralyzing punch. You ought to try it. Might snap you out of your crime spree.
And give up our little rendezvous?
Plenty of time for that once you're safely behind bars.
Love to stick around and chat, but I just dropped by to pick up this case file. I think you've had it long enough.
Alright, okay. Sounds a little more suave, I guess. I'm just gonna talk to the ladies. What the hell is in that thing? Jesus. The way she was talking, I thought it'd be like a boxing glove shooter. You could shoot the van, too. I think that might work.
You can't escape me, raccoon!
Fist shaking mad.
Once again, my gang and I had given Inspector Carmelita Fox the slip. I was surprised to see how well she took it. Finally, the secret police file I'd been searching for all these years. With this, I could avenge my family and regain possession of our most valued treasure. It all began when I was just a kid, bouncing on my father's knee. You see, I come from a long line of master thieves who kept all their secrets of sneaking and stealing in an ancient book. The Thievius Raccoonus. Anyone who read it learned to be especially sneaky, which is why we specialize in stealing from criminals. After all, there's no honor, no challenge, no fun stealing from ordinary people. You rip off a master criminal, and you know you're a master thief. Well, on the night I was supposed to inherit the book, 5 visitors came unannounced to our door. My father fought to protect us, but the gang of villains known as the Fiendish Five overpowered him and ransacked our house until they found the Thievius Raccoonus. Our family's manual of thieving greatness fell into their filthy hands. They tore the book into 5 pieces and split it up, each villain disappearing to the farthest corners of the world to commit dastardly crimes. Broken alone, I was dumped at the town orphanage. There I met 2 guys who became my lifelong buddies and trusted crew. Bentley, techno genius and strategist supreme, and Murray, part-time driver and full-time burden. Together we pledged to track down the Fiendish Five.
He doesn't sound all that helpful.
Steal back the Thievius Raccoonus. I knew I was about to face the toughest test of my life. On this mission, I would either become a master thief like my ancestors before me, or fail and allow my family name to bite the dust.
Okay. Interesting take on the cutscenes. Obviously, we've seen cutscenes in the previous, the other 2 games I'm playing, and they're like full motion and all that. It's kind of comic book-esque slide panels. The thing about this is I'm playing 2 games with 2 like major studios behind them. I mean, Crash and Spyro are pretty much top tier in terms of like PlayStation games, whereas this was developed by Sucker Punch, and I think this is only their 2nd game, so I don't know. Just from what I've seen, it's pretty impressive that it's that. But they had some other game called like Rocket Bot or something on the N64. Didn't look interesting to me. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know if it's good or not. Maybe it is. But this is only their 2nd one. And this obviously became its own kind of thing. Sucker Punch has been doing some decent stuff. I mean, the Ghost of Tsushima seemed to be a pretty big hit. A lot of people seem to like that game. That was probably their most recent one. They did the Infamous games. They worked on all these, I believe, until maybe the 4th one. But in any case, this was a smaller studio starting out, so I guess we can't expect like the full motion video or the master animation techniques that we've seen with Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter. But
That was a nice piece of work back there, police.
still, I like the presentation.
Come see me if you want to check out any of your old movies. I've got them all here on my computer. Use the left analog stick to move around the hideout and the X button to select things. I've already plotted a route to our first target.
All right, hold up on that. Let's see.
Oh,
What the hell are you eating?
you want one?
And I guess that's it. All right.
I've already plotted a route.
Sure. Let's take a look at the mission.
The road trip gave me the time I needed to study up on Sir Raleigh the Frog. As a young man, this hot-tempered frog grew bored of his life of luxury and privilege. On a whim, he tried his hand at a bit of piracy and found it to his liking. Raleigh, who quickly became addicted to crime, was brought into the Fiendish Five as chief machinist, where his evil tinkering genius rose to new heights. The last reported sighting of this mad machinist was off the soggy coast of the Isle o' Wrath, a small island uncomfortably situated in the middle of the perilous Welsh Triangle.
Nice harpsichord. Sly Cooper in Tide of Terror. Nice. The missions have their own title cards. I don't know. I like it so far.
Hey, Sly! I just spotted something that's going to complicate the mission. See that nasty-looking gate? It blocks the only road leading into Raleigh's hideout.
No problem. I'll just use my climb move.
Okay, but remember, you can only climb on certain objects.
Yeah, my climb move.
Pipes and
By which I
ropes.
mean
Yeah, sure.
climbing this
Like that
ladder.
ladder there?
That is correct. But do not forget, Sly. You have to get close.
Then hit the circle button to grab it. Yeah. Relax, Bentley. I live for this stuff.
Yeah, and that's what worries me.
So, okay, it looks like we got some kind of... What is that?
Now this is very interesting.
Oh, okay.
The message you just found appears to be some sort of clue. I'll decipher it here in the van. In the meantime, see if you can find any more clues. The more I have, the easier it'll be to crack the code.
Sure thing. Okay. Oh boy. Another game with collectibles. I'll see what I can do. I'm not making any promises that I'm actually going to be getting everything. Or trying to do this 100%. I do hear that this game is shorter, even if you are going after all the stuff. Again, referencing how long to beat. It seems like this was probably the shortest game. Which, I don't know, kind of worries me. I feel like I'm going to finish with it just based on all those first-hand accounts, I guess. But I might finish it before the other ones. I don't know. Maybe I'll get tired of the other two games because they're too damn long. I want something that's a little bit short but sweet. Look at that. There are a couple things up there. Okay, I guess L1 and R1 both do the same thing. And the L2 and R2 buttons don't do anything. Alright. Fair enough. How do I get up there? Oh, there we go. Oh. I didn't need to break it, I guess, but I did it anyway. Shipwreck, but I guess nothing over there. Alright, let me go the intended way. Hey, what's up, Scoob? How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Hold on, Sly.
I was breaking shit.
See those searchlights? One careless step, and you'll be subjected to acute combustion.
You done whining? Let's go.
I'm just trying to keep you alive, partner. Fortunately for you, I launched these signal
Play old
repeaters
Sly
throughout
Cooper, huh?
Raleigh's fortress.
Me
Get
neither.
Close to one, and I can checkpoint your progress.
Nice.
We're in the same boat. Yeah, I've never played this. I never played Ratchet and Clank. I never played Jack and Daxter. All PS2 exclusives, so I thought I might as well give them all a try, which is what I'm working on right now. So, I started up Ratchet and Clank a couple days ago. Also started up Jack and Daxter. Both pretty good. Giving this one a try now. I might do some Jack a little bit later if I got the time. But I do like me some stealth mechanics, though this is probably going to be stealth light. But regardless, I think I'm probably gonna enjoy this one. Played 2-3 Ratchet Clank games. New one was actually a masterpiece. Really? Okay, that's good. I haven't met that many people that have played the new one. Even though I'm generally not a huge fan of the series, I got you. It's a long-running series, though. I have to imagine that it's gone through some ups and downs. I was talking to a couple people that were watching me play the first one, and some people said that the series went downhill after the 4th game. So I'm like, oh, okay. is that what fans of the series think?
To my amphibio positioning system, that big blimp is where Raleigh is hiding out.
You know, that blimp looks more like a machine than a hideout.
You're right, Sly. That is a storm machine. It's the reason why it never stops raining around here.
That explains all the wrecked ships.
But why would Raleigh want bad weather at his own hideout 24/7?
Beats me. But rain or shine,
He's a
steal my
frog.
family's book back. And if Raleigh
I'm sure he
gets in
doesn't
my way,
mind.
It's on.
So, I don't know. By all accounts, I guess it's one of those things that I'm going to have to try on my own. I've only ever played one Ratchet game, and it wasn't even a Clank game because Clank wasn't in it. I played Ratchet Deadlocked. And I thought that one was pretty fun. Different mechanics-wise, but I thought it was pretty good still. The newest one is the best graphics you've seen on the PS5. And also they seem okay, too many games. So yeah, it's daunting. That's what I was afraid of, because I was like, okay, if I actually end up liking this series and I want to play through the rest of it, that's going to be, oh my god, like a dozen games or something like that I'm going to need to possibly invest in. So, whoa. Okay. Oops. I didn't think that was going to happen. But anyway, whichever one I like of these 3 series first installments the most, I'm going to end up streaming the rest, at least on their respective platform. So I'll do all the PS2 games of whatever it is that I end up liking. But which one that's going to be, I don't know. I guess I'll find out when I actually beat them all. But so far, no major complaints. Biggest issue I have is with Jak and Daxter. That one's got a kind of not so great camera. This camera I'm not digging that much either, especially for a 3D platform. I really wish I could tilt the camera up and down.
Nice job so far, Sly. To get over the next gate, you'll need to grab onto this hook using your cane. Just jump and hit the circle button.
Got it. Jump and hit the circle button to grab onto hooks.
What's my favorite PS2 games? Ooh. I'd probably have to say Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Subsistence version. Shadow of the Colossus. Maybe Final Fantasy 12 and 10. I'm looking at my collection now because I got an assload of PS2 games. I don't know. PS2 was like my bread and butter back in the day. I had so many games on there. Still do. I got most of them. And there's a ton of hidden gems on there too. But I think PS2 might be my favorite console to keep going back to because there's just so much crap on there. A lot of it's exclusive, and a lot of it I just never had an opportunity to play, or you know, I only played a little bit of it because of rentals and other things like that. I know, bad luck with cameras. I always got bad luck with cameras. It's always something. It's always something that's dissatisfying to me. But yeah, the PS2 was a great console. Always still discovering stuff on there that I've never actually had an opportunity to play. Oops. Or just stuff I want to revisit. Even the wrestling games, like, is shit that I want to go back to sometime. I've been thinking about doing like a SmackDown Shut Your Mouth or whatever stream one of these days. Just because of character creator and like the storylines are so hilarious to me. But there's been stuff up because there's a local shop around here that I go pick up games from every now and again, and there's almost always something I walk out with that's on PS2. And I mean, I got like some Tenchu games that I picked up. I got the Ape Escape games, which I've never played. Looking at my collection again. I gotta stop looking at it. Oh, the Katamari games. I love the Katamari games. Those are on there too. I always like that. PS2 had a million gems, so I hitting great turn-based horror games. Oh yeah, the horror games in particular. I stream Silent Hill 2 and 3. The Room I got on Xbox, but still. We got the Fatal Frame games on there, 3 being the exclusive. Still got to stream that. Was planning on doing it this year, but didn't end up doing it. Clock Tower 3, Radiata Stories, Suikoden 3 and 5. Try to collect PS2, but you're real particular about condition. Needs to be disc in perfect shape. I hear you there. Especially with the optical drives usually getting pretty bad. Although I gotta say on PS2 and with like my backwards compatible PS3, it's not as big of an issue as it has been with other consoles. Like Dreamcast, Xbox, no way, no way. Those discs gotta be perfect. There is also a shop that does some resurfacing around here, so sometimes I'll just take it to them and see how it goes. I had to get this game resurfaced just because I had a massive gash in it. Oh wow, jeez. One hit, huh? No health. I'm the same way though. Usually if I get a game, I mean, I will make an exception every now and again, but I like it to be complete in box and disc as scratch free as possible. I will get it resurfaced if I need to, but it's not preferable in most cases. Oh, really? Yeah. I think I heard about you talking about that on one of your streams before. You on the game store. Kept all your inventory though. That's nice. That's fun.
That large vault has got to be. Bummer, you can't open this vault without finding the rest of the clues.
Okay, so I need all the bottles for that. Looks like there's a couple up here. Let's see if I can go grab something real quick. I love like local. I've never been a big fan of like the chain game stores, like your GameStops and whatnot, but love local game shops ever since, I don't know, probably the first one I ever walked into. It was a place called Replay Games down here. It's long since closed, but that was the first game store that I'd gone to that like really opened my eyes. And probably ever since then, I was maybe about 6 or 7 when I first walked in there. Always loved taking a look at the local shops, and I still try to find them. Right now, we got a place down here called Gamers Anonymous. So there's a Replay Games close to Chattanooga. Nope, not over there. I'm in the Southwest, over in ye olde New Mexico. But I don't know, maybe it's just a similar name, or maybe they moved and they just took the shop over there. It was a little mom and pop business. Oh, look at that, we got them all.
Sly, that's the final clue to crack the code. Now find out both, and I'll give you the instructions to open it.
Let's take a look.
Press the circle to enter the vault code. The clues have led me to believe that the code for this vault is 792.
I can do that. 792. Guys sell you tubs of games after he shut down. Love that dude. If I can find somebody that sell me tubs of games, I'd love them too.
Sly, you found a page from the Thievius Raccoonus. This page teaches old Drake Cooper's fast attack dive move. Press the triangle button to use it.
It is a little weird to have a vault out in the open like this. Oh, okay. It looks like it's an attack too, but maybe it's a faster way we could get around. Might be nice. Guess I'll see if I could use it. But we had Gamers Anonymous is probably the only place I go to now. There's a couple more spots called Noble, but they're not as good. Gamers used to have 2 stores. One of them shut down recently. I think the guy was kind of in a similar situation to you, Scoob. He ended up shutting the shop down, but I think he kept most of his inventory. I actually found him on eBay. I was purchasing a game on eBay, and I didn't notice, but he was right in my city.
Now might be a good time to
So I ended up meeting him to just pick it up instead of him shipping it out because, you know, it was probably like a 10-minute drive or something like that. I was like, yeah, let me go meet you at this game store I usually shop at. I noticed that the shop had been closed, and I'm like, God damn, I didn't know this place closed down. And then as soon as he pulled up, we were talking a little bit, and he's like, yep, I used to own that shop, so it's kind of funny that that's the spot you picked to meet up. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like rain on your parade or anything. I don't want to bring up bad memories.
Then hitting the X button twice will give you an extra high jump flip.
Okay, there we go. I guess he's got to grab on still, though. Not too sure why. He knew he was cutting you deals, didn't care. So he tough with Earthbound, Phantasy Star 1 and 2, plus on GameCube, all about Resident Evil, Silent Hill games, about 150 more for like $250. Jeez. And that was a gold mine nowadays.
The most secured location on this boat. If Raleigh's really as smart as his police files suggest, then that's where I'll find him.
Wonderful idea, but your plan is flawed.
Why?
Because it's impossible to get near him. To access Raleigh's blimp, you would have to sneak through that high voltage power tube. To do that without getting electrocuted, you'd have to destroy that power generator. And to do that, you need 2 more of Raleigh's treasure keys, which are heavily guarded.
Interesting. So when are you gonna get to the impossible part?
Fine. But I warned you. I've marked the areas you need to hit with holographic markers. Follow them.
Second best score you ever got.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's a lot of that stuff goes for way more than, I mean, so a couple of those things go for more than the entirety of that bin there that he paid for. So what'd you end up doing with that, though? Was that stuff that just went into your inventory, or is that like private collection stuff, or how'd you end up utilizing a score like that? Because that was a hell of a deal.
Wow, you found a lucky charm. That'll protect you when you take any damage.
Oh, I got caught like last second. I didn't even know this game had lives. Tell me about all the games from Pawn Shop. I just had them in the back of a semi. Shoebox full of Pokemon. Sold everything for about $300. Totaled up was about $4,000 worth of stuff. Jesus. That was then, I'm sure about 10K plus now, especially those Pokemon games. For whatever reason, especially some of the older ones, those go for like 100, 200, depending on which one it is, depending on the condition. If it's just like carts even, sometimes those can go for a shitload of money. But horror games in particular, I've noticed, have always garnered a hefty prices, regardless of what it is. Oh, they were Craigslist finds. Wow. Yeah, before everybody started getting on board with that. Well, I mean, once people started getting word that you snagged some decent deals, everybody started getting on, and then everybody got wise to it, and then you couldn't find any decent deals anymore.
Better close those furnace doors. Jump and press the square button. That'll slam them shut.
Oh, we got a bottle. I guess every area has their own like bottles that we could nab. But it's crazy what the used game market is up to now. Like, I'm always surprised when I see prices of games. Even just looking at them maybe a year or two later, like not even that long, how much certain things increase in value. You picked up Chrono Trigger, Rule of Rose on PS2 for $2 each at a pawn shop. Jeez, they must have really not known what they had. Sold Rule of Rose for about $60. Yes, it's now about $700. No kidding. Oh man, I think I remember you mentioning that on one of your streams too. That, I mean, you know, it's hard to know what games are gonna do in terms of value. I guess nowadays it's always a safe assumption that a horror game, regardless of what it is probably gonna, like, you know, at least double in value. of MSRP. If it's not something super common. God damn it, I didn't mean to do that.
Near the blue stealth auras to perform super sneaky thief moves.
Like Resident Evil, you get those all cheap, but like anything Silent Hill or any of those like almost sort of independent or Japanese made ones like Siren, stuff like that, that shit goes for premium. But pretty damn crazy. That Rule of Rose though, yeah. I mean, I feel for you there. I had a chance to get that game for 60 and I'm kicking myself. You got it for $2 though. That's nuts. I had a chance to get it for 60 at one point though, decided not to, and then I've been kicking myself ever since for not actually snagging it, because even if I didn't like it and didn't want it, I could have sold it for, you know, quadruple that. It's crazy. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. God damn it. Bootleg carts. I mean, it's a nice way to get a cheap version if you want to play it on an authentic console. But if you're looking for, you know, actual collector grade and you want to do something with that, or, you know, you just want to have like a real thing in your collection just for personal pride's sake, it's hard to tell. I mean, fortunately, I think most people are pretty upfront with when they have like a, you know, bootleg copy, but can't always tell. Some people are sneaky like that, sneaky little bastards. They got all sorts of carts up on sale. I mean, I've seen a few, even at some of the local shops I've been to, where they end up finding out that it's a fake and, you know, they'll knock the price down. I remember hearing one of the guys that worked there said they had to take a return back because it ended up being a fake cart. And then I had to ask, it's like, well, could he have just, like, sold you a fake one back? But I guess they had a way to tell and it was the one that they actually sold. I don't know. Risky business, risky business. Oops. I didn't know that was gonna happen. Nice. I was looking at getting Zero Mission for Game Boy Advance so I could just play it on my DS. And then I was looking at all the ones that were up for sale, and it's like I could get an authentic cart and spend like $70 or whatever, but then I just looked at the bootleg ones and it was like, it was Zero Mission and Fusion. They both work fine. They're fake, but I could get them for $10, and I'm like, I just don't care. I just want to play it. I don't want to collect it. I just want to play it on an actual handheld console, so I ended up grabbing that, and yeah, it's fine with it. I wouldn't show it off or nothing, but it is what it is. What's up, McMagic? Welcome. Playing this on your modded PS2. Forgot I had a PS3 that has better running versions of it. Yeah, I'm doing the actual PS2 disc. I'm just playing it on my backwards compatible PS3, but it does look nicer. I mean, I could be running this through the PS2 with the RetroTink, but I don't know. I still think that playing it off of the PS3 with HDMI might look a little bit better. You a fan of this series? You mostly do SNES stuff? I got you. SNES games, they flash the carts, put different games in them, so you know those you can open up and check the serials, but don't know if it works for everything. I got you. Oh shit, I was reading chat. Well, at least the checkpoint was right there. It's fine, whatever. Did he move? Normally they don't move. Maybe I moved. I don't know. I'm gonna check and see if there's something I could get up top here. Doesn't look like it. If those vaults got like it moves and stuff in them, I think I'm more keen on trying to get everything. If it was just like, I don't know, aesthetic bonuses or some crap like that, I'd be less inclined, but... Sly Cooper 1 has infamous frame rate problems on the PS2 as well as the 3. Collection is far more enjoyable experience. Yeah, but the thing about the collection is they cut content, I know specifically from the second one. So I'm like, I got the games on disc, I don't mind playing them. Even if the frame rate gets a little bit choppy, I don't really care. Let me play how they originally played when they came out. Shit. Okay. Depth perception problems. Oh, that's what the coins do. They give you a horseshoe. I feel like I'm playing Jak and Daxter all over again. I can't tell where things are going to actually end up hitting. Oh boy, it's going fast. There we go. Whoa, whoa! You know, so far the locked camera segments haven't been all that bad, but yeah, sometimes they mess with my depth perception here. I think that's the most egregious thing. Okay, now that laser grid is making me nervous. Okay, let's get through here. What are you trying to hit? I was kind of miffed at doing the Jak and Daxter collection too, but that was the easiest way for me to get it. And I wanted to start this up as soon as the new year began. So I'm just bit the bullet and did the collection on that one, but it wasn't a true 16:9. They actually ended up cropping it to make it fit. Shit. I hesitated. Oh, I had the horseshoe though. That's good. Look at all that. Bunch of gunk. Good, more game rats. Oh. Damn it. I guess I could have just double jumped onto that platform. That probably would have worked. Let me try that. Oh. Here, maybe? There we go. Okay, that's safer. Let's go. Oh, damn it. Guess I'm going this way. I was gonna see what was up that little pipe that was going up and down. Oh, I already found the vault. Shoot. What's this? Maybe. Oh, look at that. Okay, there's a couple in there. Maybe we can find them all in this area. Don't have to worry about backtracking.
You can't jump up on this furnace, Sly. You better go back and find an alternate route.
Give me a second. I'm taking a look. I guess we need to go up here. Oh, there's one. Let's see what this does. That works. Damn it. Okay, we're missing two. Oh, there they are. See what I could do here. Cool. Let's see what we can unlock.
Press the circle to enter the vault code. I can't believe I pieced this one together. Try 227. Interesting. Old Sly Cooper's fast getaway raccoon roll. Stories claim she can move faster rolling than anyone else could on the run. Hold down the triangle button to use this move. Switch between your power-ups using L2 and R2.
Oh, that's what the L2 and R2 buttons do. Okay. Kind of weird for an ability switch, but I guess whatever. So what does this roll? Oh. Sideways rolling, not as effective. Okay. Can I combo that with anything, or no? I guess not. Slightly faster way to get around, but I think I like the dive a little bit better. I'll just stick with that. With backwards compatible PS3 is only the first model? No, they were the first model and then the second model after that. Their serial coding, usually you could tell by, I think they end in like A01 for the very first model and then E01 for the second one. But as long as they've got those SD card ports, those are, I think all of those are the ones that can run games backwards compatibly. I mean, every PS3 can run PS1 games, no problem. Well, except for a couple. There's a couple versions of games that don't work so well, but for the most part, they work pretty good. We experienced the issues with Silent Hill. Alright, first level down. We didn't get whatever the hell that thing is. Maybe that's a time trial? I'm not too sure. Yeah, the ear-piercing noise that occurred at the very final boss, that was horrifying. And other games have issues mildly with PS1 games, but it's not like Silent Hill's the only one. I think even that one of the Tomb Raiders I was playing, I think it was the original one, maybe? Or no, it wasn't the one I had. I think the one I have with the demos, it's like the greatest hits version works okay. But like I think it's the original release of Tomb Raider doesn't work on the PS3 that well. I don't know. There's some compatibility issues because the PS3 basically runs it through an emulator with the E01 models and after. But I think with those very first models, the ones that had the heating issues, those AO1s, those are the ones that ran it off the actual hardware, PS2 games included. So there's basically no compatibility issues because it was running off actual hardware.
Look at all this stuff. Must be worth millions. And
Well, let's smash it.
Tighter security. You're gonna have to be extra sneaky to get the treasure key here.
Oh, it's creepy. I guess it's supposed to be a frog woman, but it just looks like the Mona Lisa with like a severe lack of facial features. That looks like the Trans Techno Union or whatever from the episode 2 Attack of the Clones. We got more bottles. We got 30 of them in this one. Oh boy. Look at that. Mildly horrifying. Oh, I got another one over here. Nice attention to detail with these little artworks. Other things in these levels. But this being an EO1 model, I've got the secondary one, which doesn't quite have as bad of a heating issue as the very first initial PS3s did, but it also runs games through emulation, which means that there are some compatibility issues. I was trying to play Silent Hill 2 on this console not that long ago, and boy, there was some weird shit going on there. Like character models would like glitch in and out of existence. Limbs would be like freaking out. It didn't look that great, so definitely not something that you... Oops. I didn't even notice that there were lasers there. Definitely not something that you want to mess with. And then on top of that, some games just run like super slow. I think I was playing the Scarface game, The World Is Yours, on PS2. I was testing it to see, because I was thinking about streaming that game. I still might. But I was testing it to see if it ran okay on the PS3, and it runs like at half the speed. It's really weird. Sucks, but that's the world I live in. Shit. Jumping the gun. That's alright. Oh man. Can I just like jump up top here? Or is that is that frowned upon? I guess not. Those lasers got some pretty significant range. Cool. But yeah, I mean, we've been playing this for what, about an hour or so? No issues so far. Frame rate looks pretty stable. Game hasn't been slowing down. And we're already at the vault? I've only got 6 of the bottles. So hopefully it keeps up. I'm planning on playing more games off this thing too. I feel like I did one recently. I don't remember what it was though. Oh hey, these guys move. I did something off the PS2 recently. I just don't remember specifically what it was. Given serious consideration of playing some Klonoa too, some Lunatea's Veil. So that might be something. I mean, if all else fails, I still have like an actual working PS2 that I can play off of, and I can just play it with the RetroTink too, so... I mean, I wouldn't be terribly upset if I had to do something like that. Okay, this looks dangerous. I knew it was gonna catch up with me eventually. I mean, there are a fair amount of bottles over here. It didn't really look like there was a whole lot of, unless I missed like a path or something like that, but there wasn't like a ton of variety in terms of locations that I could go. The path was pretty linear leading up to this area, so it'd be one of those situations where it just opens up, I guess. $20. 10 more to go. I don't know where the hell they're at, but they're somewhere. That's the, I mean, that's the end right there. Were they on those lily pads? I don't think this raccoon can swim either. There's nothing underwater. Let me just grab this real quick. Let's see. This life always replenishes. I don't want to miss out on the abilities, so I'm going to go back in here. Was it cut content from these games in the collection version? So the collection version was mildly censored, so that was part of the reason. Like, I kind of hate like any form of censorship, so that kind of irked me right off the bat. Anytime I see like a remastered edition of a game or a collection of games that puts all the games into one package, it sounds like a good deal right off the bat. Like, oh, I can get all these games for the price of one or whatever. Or they're remastered, so I can play them in 16:9 and HD. And everything sounds great right off the bat, but I've learned in my time of playing so many remaster collections that they always tend to end up cutting corners or something ends up being a little bit shit about them. So I ended up taking a look with the Jak and Daxter, the Ratchet and Clank, the Sly Cooper collection. And from the sounds of it, the Jak and Daxter, the Sly collection, or the Jak and Daxter and the Ratchet and Clank versions don't really cut out all that much. I think the most egregious thing with the Jak and Daxter is that they crop the game to fit 16:9 aspect ratio instead of just oh look, there's some bottles up there, instead of just widening the game, which, damn it, which is what Ratchet and Clank did. They just increased the field of view for the game so that it fit 16:9, and then they left the cutscenes in 4:3, which is fine. I wish Jak and Daxter would have done that, but no, they ended up cutting it some. But anyway, with the Sly Cooper collection, I don't know. I remember reading a handful of things. There was, I think there was even a mini game of some sort cut from one of the sequels, something like that. There's a listing somewhere. You could read up on it if you're interested in what specifically it was. But then as soon as I saw that there was a cutscene or something that got censored, like they were playing cards or something like that, and then it got changed to something more quote-unquote tame. I guess they were gambling or something. And then the cutscene got changed to something more tame, apparently. I was like, alright, yeah, I think I'll just get the original versions. It's not going to make that big of a difference to me. So, and besides, I tend to like to play, if I'm playing something that I'm actually interested in, I like to play it how it originally released anyway. That way, if I play any future renditions of it, I'll know that there's been some changes. Freaking... Oh, man, I didn't even notice this. I think I must have saw this and thought it was the vault that was down there. Damn it. Okay, so we got 29. I need one more. I don't know where the hell it is, though.
Sly, you've got to find one more clue if you're gonna open this vault.
I know. Trying to piece that together. Might be near the main area. Oh good, I could get a mid-jump. Oh, there it is. How do I get up there? There we go. Oh, or I could have jumped at the frog statues from the other side. I guess that was an option. And get some more coins, I guess.
Press the circle to enter the vault code.
Already here, bud.
Whoever thought this code up knew what they were doing. Dial in 436.
They know what they're doing. Oh, went too far, but it still opened.
These are the blueprints of Raleigh's entire operation. I wonder... Yes, I can wire this info directly into your binocucom. It'll show you the position of nearby clues and breakable objects.
Oh, okay. It's just a shitty safe, I guess, yeah. Can I exit the... Oh, yeah, I can. Well, let's just do that then. Instead of going back to the entrance or otherwise. I can still get this life, too. Nice. I mean, they replenish a lot, but boy, the fact that you get hit once and you lose a life. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna say it's too harsh, but you can burn through them pretty quickly, especially if you're not paying that much attention. Like me. Getting too caught up in chat and other things. So, let's see, does that work on the overworld too? It's not really showing me anything, I don't think. Oh, there's something. That's a lucky horseshoe. Guess when you already picked something up, probably not going to show me anything. Okay, I'm just looking for the slowly rotating triangles. I see. Is there some...
Sly, see that machine wheel? If my knowledge of mechanical engineering serves me right, applying significant rotational torque to achieve maximum velocity will yield a positive result.
You mean something good might happen if I can get the wheel to spin fast enough?
Isn't that what I just said?
Ah. Oh, that's how we get up there. Okay. See, I was gonna look through the binoculars to see, but I got interrupted by the radio call.
Temperature's reading way off the charts in here. This must be the power source for the storm machine.
Always check behind you when you start a level. Bound to find something. Oh wow, the safe's already... I guess they're not necessarily positioned at the ends of the level. Just going off the first one, I figured that was going to be the case with everything, but nope. Seems like right at the beginning. Oh. Just have to slash at it. Don't you do your victory pose. You didn't even do anything. Stood there like an asshole. Maybe I'm just supposed to get those in particular positions, not necessarily move it. Oh, damn it. I was kind of hopeful that I could jump on top of one of those platforms. I think maybe I just gotta run real fast. hook onto it and then let it take me to the other side. That might be the idea. I don't know, I gotta say, I think with the 3 games that I've played so far, I think I like the movement best in this game. It's just sometimes that the actual level design and obstacles can prove to be a little challenging, but I mean, it's not too bad. Yeah, I don't think that was enough. Although, shit. Just enough. Wrong button. For some reason I keep pressing triangle to interact with stuff and not the circle button. I'll get used to it. This might be worth it, but I want to check back here, make sure I'm not missing any bottles. I can also get the coins over here. Okay. That was one of the situations where I hesitated. Oh no! Oh, it didn't even give me a chance to like double jump. As soon as you slide off the side there, that's it. Pretty steady progress with the bottles. I'm guessing it'll be easier just to finish the level and then re-enter the level if I want to get back to the beginning and unlock the thing if I get them all. Okay, some of the distance is moving, but we also got the spotlight on us. There you go. It did not have that much momentum coming in, but by golly, it broke the door. Two more. I think we see them. That wasn't so bad. Nice. Oh, damn it. No. I wanted to get back up there. I'm gonna do this. see what we get. We've gotten abilities all so far, so I'm kind of hopeful. Uh-oh. My bad. Kind of hopeful that trend continues. But boy, an ability for every level, that seems a bit, I don't know, intense.
I'm unbeatable! No code can stand before me! It's got to be 579!
It's got to be.
Outstanding! Another page from the Thievius Raccoonus! This one features Dev Cooperenda's slow motion jumps. He used this to get by all kinds of airborne threats. Hit the triangle button while in the air to slow down time.
Interesting. Do I need to activate that? Like switched it? Oh, there we go. I mean, I could see where that would be handy, I guess. So we had a couple jumping segments where we had to guide ourselves through lights, but I can't maneuver all that well. That's pretty smooth frame rate, though, I gotta say. I don't know if we're quite hitting 60, but not bad, not bad. Okay, is there... Oh, there's a map. Hold up, that didn't tell me exactly what I wanted to look at. So I got them all here. I think I just need to get through that door or whatever. Oh, actually, hold up, there's something up top there, I think. What was this?
Hey Sly, you can adjust the game camera using the right analog stick. And to bring the camera behind you, click
I've
it.
noticed. Looks like a nature document. Oh, the slow-mo. I guess I could see that, yeah. Kinda sucks that I have to select that, though. I don't know. What are these people? They're like crawdads or something. Okay, here's that other level. Oh, bottles right at the start. Seems like 30's the standard, too.
Those rats got pegged.
Raleigh appears to have booby-trapped this entire place.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
Don't you get it, Sly? If you step on that rug, forget about becoming a master thief. You'll be a master dartboard.
Wait a second. What if I jumped into that barrel for protection?
I don't know. It looks pretty risky and very unsanitary.
Only one way to find out.
That's a lot of coin. Oh, damn it. It all disappeared. I'm guessing the barrel will burn up if I try to take this guy out. Oh, good, I can smash these things. That's nice. Even the clock. Okay, I don't know if there's going to be another one of these later on, so I think I might as well just bring it with me. Oh, yeah, look at that.
So far, so good. I bet if you stayed still inside the barrel, the guard won't be able to see you, even if he shines his flashlight on you.
Wonder where they got that idea from. Just checking some mail I got. Nothing interesting. Probably don't want to be in his direct path, though. Man, every time I try to dive, I don't know if it's the dive move in particular. I don't know if they'd still blow the whistle. And I mean, nothing really happens from the looks of it, but it's like every time I dive into them, they always blow that whistle regardless of whether they're going to turn around or not. Guess that guy's not going to turn around. Can't jump on that either. Damn. It's like, it almost feels like something's locking me to a particular height. Even though I probably would be able to jump to that. Oh, there we go. It's like preventing me for a second there. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you could just do a regular strike too, and they still blow the whistle on you. So I think that's just in their nature. If they're getting hit or you make any movement around them, they're just gonna blow it, but it doesn't really matter. Yep. Alright. More effective in actual levels than in kind of like the hub worlds. But I'm seeing a lot of stuff. I'm thinking I need to... I don't think I could actually get any of that from down here, though. Uh-huh. Missed one. I was kind of wondering if I should be walking around all over the place with this thing. But I was keeping it. I was actually more keeping it just in case I came across any of these squid dudes. Which it looks like I need to get it for years, so I mean it ends up working. But yeah, even way up top, we needed to bypass the globes. Oh, there's the actual vault with the code. Just checking to make sure that there's nothing I can grab near it. Something in there, but I've seen I can't actually jump on top of the bookcases. Looks like there's a way to approach it from the other side, though. Shut up. Uh-oh. This might be the end of the line. Maybe not, actually. I might be able to... like, drop onto the levels. There we go. Whew. Ah, shit. Okay. Oh. Okay. That was a good thing I made an attempt. I'm gonna get that shoe horse, but shoe horse. I'm gonna get that horseshoe, but I think I wanna try to get everything else up here first. So I ended up missing a few of them. Although the bulk of this level's in this room only, so I wonder where those... like 3? I think it was like 3 of them. Okay, but we're clear of everything, I think, now, because that's the end of the level, so... Oh, up top there, okay. A little harder to see. Oops. I guess the roll doesn't do too good if you bump into something. Also, you can't... Oh, shit. Wow. Tossed me up all the way back over here. You can't direct it all that well. It's pretty stiff in the movement department.
Press the circle to enter the vault code. With the help of a straight edge and compass, the answer was simple. Dial in 242. Interesting. Chris Cooper's dive collection technique. This move is an extension of the dive move you already know. Just jump and hit the triangle button near breakable objects for some fast braking, fast collecting action.
Okay, so we can modify moves. Or expand moves we already have. I guess that's one way of doing it. But yeah, so far, surprisingly, they've all been like abilities. Which I'm all for. It definitely makes me more motivated to try and get everything in a level. At least as far as the bottles are concerned. What's up, Sabotage? Welcome back. How you doing tonight? Okay, I think we get this through this one door. Which we needed 3 keys for. It goes alright. I was taking a little while to get used to kind of the controls and some of the game design, but so far it's been pretty good. Okay, so did we do what we needed to do with this? Oh, there we go. I tried to hit it before, right? Kane just bounced off of it. But I think we're doing all right. It's kind of a rough start, but not too bad.
All my calculations led led me to believe you had failed to knock out that generator.
Never was good at math.
Well, here's a real test for you. I found a way up to Raleigh's hideout, but unfortunately, it is doomed to failure.
You're not gonna tell me I have to shoot myself out of that cannon.
I'm afraid that's the only way.
Now you're talking.
You're really scaring me, man. Anyway, to get inside that thing, you had to steal all 7 of Raleigh's treasure keys.
So what are we waiting for? You show me those hollow what's-its?
You mean my holographic markers?
Yeah. And I'll swipe whatever it takes to get shot out of that cannon and steal back my family's Thievius Raccoonus.
I gotta say, one thing, because you know me. I'm not just gonna, like, full out love anything. But it's like, one thing. Not digging a lot of the radio calls with Bentley. Especially with that voice. It's a little much. I could do with fewer of those, but I mean, it is sort of a tutorial in a sense, since this is like the first major world, I'm guessing. So it is what it is, but still. I don't know if I'd be as conscious of it if I wasn't streaming it, though. But so far, I'm liking the gameplay and the design most of all. I said it before, but I think the movement, out of all 3 games I've played, I think like the movement and just kind of like the feel of the gameplay mechanics is probably my favorite of the 3. From what little I've played. I mean, we've been playing for about an hour and a half, but still. I don't know what he's saying. I've got headphones on and I don't know what he's saying. Too much of an audio effect on that thing. No subtitles for this game either. Something about a Fortnite. We're gonna play Fortnite? Getting all the lads together? Oh, just jumped right over me. Sly 2 definitely was the one that made me fall in love with this one is still pretty good. I've liked what I've played so far. Just like little nitpicks here and there, but I do that with every game I play, so it's not really all that surprising. Only 20 bottles in this level. Must be pretty short. But yeah, I mean, a big part of what I already like is gameplay stuff, which I feel is pretty important. I'm already feeling the more satisfying sense of control. So that's a good thing. And I like the presentation. I like how this game looks, but I also like how the levels are designed too, which I think is also important. Camera speed is fine. It's another one of those things. Ratchet & Clank has got the best camera out of the 3 so far. I don't mind the camera speed. I don't like how the camera orientation is reversed, and yet they call that normal. When I press right, camera looks to the left. When I press left, camera looks to the right. Don't like that. And I wish I could look up and down in third-person view mode. Can't do that. I can't even zoom in or out like I can with Jak and Daxter. So this might be the worst camera controls out of all 3 games so far. But I think in terms of like how the camera actually moves automatically, like in terms of how it's tracking, it's better than Jak and Daxter. I haven't really had that much of a complaint about the camera. It's worse than Jak and Daxter when you have like those camera lock segments. What the hell is that? It's an eyeball squid thing. And the camera's just so bad. It's like really not good in certain sections. I was playing it a little bit on my own time, and I was just kind of suffering with the camera some more. Making sure I'm not actually, you know what? I might as well just whip this out and see. This would be a better sense than just me trying to eyeball where these little bottles are at. Shoot. Oh, that's what they could do. We haven't seen what these guys are capable of yet. Oh, ah! Damn it, I didn't know that there was another one over there. I was more concerned and preoccupied with the guy behind me. Whoa, 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 what was that? I'll just take him out. Okay, let's see. Ah, here we go. Didn't really look natural to me back over that way. Four more, uh-oh. Yeah, you don't hear it, but I like the little sneaking footstep sound. They love the increasing footstep sound when you sneak up behind people. There's a lot of little details in this game that I like, whether it's just like part of the movement controls, or the animation, or the sound design, or even just like weird background crap. With those coins. There you go, thank you.
Press the circle to enter the vault code. This one was cake. Input 719.
Oh, 718, but whatever. We did that before too.
Oh, you're lucky, Sly. This page features Karen Cooper-Giwa's coin magnet technique.
Excuse me?
All she had to do was stand near money, and it would magically jump into her purse. From now on, you'll automatically collect any coins you come near.
Oh, good. Wish I had that ability in Jack and Dexter. But I guess I would have wanted it. No, not for coins necessarily. I want it for egg. I need egg magnetism. Alright. What else do we got here? I'm gonna grab that life again, I guess. Whoa, 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 whoa. Too far. Egg mechanic. I need an increase in egg mechanic, I think, across the board, every game I play. Alright, let's see. Is that it? Are there any other levels? Oh, there's one more level. I think. Yeah, just one. Oh, so, okay. So do the keys... Okay, so I didn't, like, just use the keys. It's the same damn situation with Jack and Dexter. Freaking me out, because I'm thinking, like, wait a second, I need to get, like, 7 keys for this thing, but we already have most of them. We can just reuse them again. I get the picture. Thank you. Treasure in the depths. Ooh, I get a little submarine too. Very economic protagonist. Got to reuse all your stuff for max value, I guess. I mean, it's better than you spending it and having to re-get everything. I got it. I already got my strategy.
Use the right analog stick to fire its gun. That's it. Remember, you can always drive the sub in one direction while firing in another.
It's not even anything coming out here.
You'll need to collect all 40 chests. Do not let a crab take one into a tube.
Okay. I'll be sure to... Oh. They're pretty damn quick. I mean, my stupid strategy is working to a degree. Honk. Oh, shit. How do I open these? Okay, I just shoot them? Okay. So I gotta focus my shots when I actually get a chest. They look pretty similar to something that would have been in Spyro. I mean, they look real low poly too, so I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up being similar just because of design limitations. Goddamn. Ass load of crabs.
Congratulations, you did it!
You order crabs by the assload. No better way to do it. We'll be dumping them by the assload too. Alright, that should be enough. I think. Yeah? Oh, I actually have to jump in. Okay.
How delightful! We have a guest. The only thing is, I hate unexpected guests!
Listen, Raleigh, wipe out my family and steal what's mine, you better expect company.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry. How sloppy of me not to finish the job. Obviously, we should have snuffed you out as well. So, without further ado, let me begin my what? Bloating to gargantuan size and squashing you like the insignificant bug that you are!
Bring it on.
That was an abrupt cut. Oh, okay. That's what he meant by bloating. I wasn't sure how that was gonna go. Do I get a... Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, shit. I was wondering if I'd get an opportunity to attack, or... Here, hold up. Nope, can't do it then. Okay, okay. We just gotta get him, like, right before he jumps. Not a whole lot of opportunity. Oh, it's a good thing I jumped over. Ooh, shit. Jump too late. Just do what we did for the second tier. Okay. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I mean, whoa. Okay. Well, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, not exactly a Dark Souls boss, but I didn't see the spin attack coming. God damn it. I mean, you know, early-ish 3D platformer boss. Not really gonna be using a whole lot of brain power for these. You can see the patterns pretty easy. They threw that wild card at me. Yeah, the second Yamaka comes out with a secret move. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. Ah, shit. I thought it was every 6. I think it's every 5 hops, I guess. Alright, let's see what he does. Oh! Okay. I guess he caught me on the downswing. A bit of an oof moment.
It all! You've beaten me! Well, gloat all you want, Sly Cooper. You're no match for Mugshot, my villainous cohort in Utah. You'll see.
Okay.
The city is so well guarded, a snake couldn't slither in without setting off alarms.
Thank you. I guess he
Raleigh
died.
section of the Thievius
I wasn't expecting him to say
Raccoonus
Utah. I guess there's a
instructions on
Paris,
how to
though.
perform my ancestor Ryoichi Cooper's ninja spire jump, a technique he developed while sneaking into the thickly fortified castles of feudal Japan.
I know, like, give us the
Finding
exact
a way off
information we
Raleigh's
need.
boat got a little tricky with the untimely arrival of Inspector Fox, who, failing to find me, busted Raleigh and his crew.
Hot chick with gun busts amphibious
With
yuck
the storm
mouth.
machine out of commission, boats found their way back onto the ocean, and the mystery of the Welsh Triangle faded from memory. My gang and I loafed around England for a while, enjoying the pleasant weather, and then headed back home, excited for our next heist.
I took the liberty of pinning your mission map up on the wall. You can use it to warp directly to any levels you've already visited.
I think I'm good. Hey, we brought home a pet
We're
crab.
all set to go to Mesa City.
What are you doing, Murray? Wow. Okay. Good job.
It had been a while since I'd been back in the U.S. Next up, the notorious Mugshot. Ruthless muscle of the fiendish five. What he lacked in brains, he definitely made up for in brawn. Turns out he wasn't always that way. He grew up as the run of the litter. A neighborhood weakling. The only friends he could turn to were usually found on the big screen. It was there that he spotted his first gangster, and he knew instantly that that's what he wanted to be. He spent the rest of his youth working real hard to get there, fueled on his dreams of great power and respect. With enough perspiration, he realized that dream. He'd become a hard-boiled, street-brawling, tough-as-nails gangster, ensuring that he'd never be picked on or pushed around again.
Okay then.
So he's holed up in Mesa City, huh? I've always wanted to go to that thriving American boom town.
Sly Cooper in Sunset. Snake Eyes. Took me a while to figure out what that said. A very different feel for a next level, so that's cool.
Hey, Sly, I thought you said Mesa City was going to be loud and busy. This looks more like a ghost town.
Something's
The
happening.
game definitely has
Where is
style, no
everyone?
kidding.
I don't know, but it's starting to give me the creeps. What do you say we take off?
And miss all the fun? Besides, I want to try out that new move I got from Raleigh's section of the Thievius Raccoonus.
You mean the ninja spire jump?
Yeah, do me a favor and read me the instructions again.
To landeth safely upon diminutive points, leapeth lively and presseth the triggering device with the round geometrical object emblazoned upon it.
So jump and hit the circle button to land on narrow spots.
That's
Yes,
a rough
I've done it before.
translation.
But yeah, I'm digging the style. It's not even just like the variety, but like the actual stylization of these levels is pretty cool. Yeah, it's like just they should just default it to being the action button, like in Metal Gear or something. They act like the circle button is some huge revelation. Like, oh, I have to press the circle button? Wow. Boy, I don't know. I've been pressing the circle button for everything else. I don't know if I can keep up with all this. I gotta use it to climb stuff and jump on things. Yeah, that's tall order right there. Whoa, what the hell? It's Looney Tunes, dog. The best... Oh, eggs. I was like, oh, the best darn eggs. I thought it said the best logs at first. Let's see what's down here. Surprisingly, there's water. We know you don't do well with water. Almost looks like something should happen with that, but I guess not. Did I miss anything else? Hey, does that scanning thing count for every level? I'm not picking anything else up on radar. But I don't know if that means I've collected everything or if that means I need to regain that ability. Yeah, we theorized what the purpose of that was. I always wondered, it was like even way back when, I always had the mindset that like game developers were just lazy and they didn't want to program swimming mechanics for a game. I mean, I'm sure that wasn't always the case, but that had to have been the case for a few games. Very rarely did we see a 3D platformer where the main character could actually swim.
What's with those flashing lights?
The latest in high-tech security. Electronic floor sensors. Step on them and you're a goner.
Nice touch.
They're safe to walk on while flashing, but it also means they're about to switch to a different sector.
I mean, it was sometimes a wise decision. Remember DMC? I didn't think DMC 1 was that bad. I remember, maybe it was you. Somebody was telling me, like, oh god, this sucks. And I was like, well, it could have been worse. At least you could kind of point in the direction you want. DMC 1's controls were just bad in general, though, on the PS2 American version. That game suffered from some nasty controls. Unironically, the swimming mechanics are probably the most handleable thing in there. I hated the button mapping for that game. I know they fixed it with the HD collection or whatever, but I was playing the original copy. It's nasty. Okay, let's see what all this is about. Ooh. Okay, I didn't know he was gonna do that. Hold up, I don't want to roll. Camera, please. Yeah, it was. I don't remember specifically what it was. I think you're right though. I think it was triangle to jump. It wasn't good. It was not good. And I know the Japanese version, like the original Japanese version, had normal controls. Like it was either X or circle. One of those, either one of those would be preferable to triangle. Because whatever the hell it was awful. And I got used to it, and I beat that whole game with those terrible, terrible controls. But still, it wasn't fun. I don't know what the hell this guy's gonna do. Every time I come up to a new enemy, I don't know what the hell's gonna go on. Freaking me out. Like I'm actually quite surprised that this game has one-hit deaths for everything. I thought there'd be like a little hit counter or something like that. I just find that a little bit surprising. I mean, the checkpoints are fair. You get multiple lives relatively easy, but still, it was a little harsher than I was anticipating. How are these? The Dick Smashers? Be careful with those. I'm gonna get my horseshoe back. Whoa. What did he have? It was either a baguette or a baseball bat. I couldn't tell. Hold up. Nice. Oh, there's the safe. Is there anything else up here? No? 29 out of 40. Let's see if we can find the rest of the 11. Oh, it's definitely... well, it's not a baseball. I think it's a 2x4 with a nail in it. That's what it is. The Bone House. You can go there if you're looking to get boned. This looks fun. Oof. Tail hit the water. I'm surprised he didn't like spontaneously combust. Okay. Ah! Three more. On top of this thing, maybe? Not over there. Oh, look. Safe. Ah, shit. Yeah, let's get the door open. Whatever. Let me not step in just yet. Hate it when that happens. I know, it sucks. Yeah, the collectathon nightmare is when you go through the entirety of the level thinking you're being pretty thorough, and then there's just like one missing. No, it doesn't always happen, but yeah. It's frustrating when it does. And now I'm just, oh crap, second guessing myself. Second guessing myself as to where this might be. But I need to go back here to, oh shit. Guess I needed to double jump or something, I don't know. I need to get back here to get to the safe anyway, so it's kind of whatever. Get that horseshoe. Okay, this will be another opportunity where it would be really nice to be able to manipulate the camera up and down. I think it did. Yeah, I got 39 out of 40. I think even if you die, it saves everything that you collect that's important. It doesn't save the coins. I noticed that the coins like restock, but it saves the amount that you already collected. So I mean, it's just plus all around for most parts. God damn, was it really all the way back here? Wait, oh, there it is. Sneaky little shit, look at that. How would I have known? Unless I was going back here. It's the only way. Oh, great. How am I gonna get back? Ah! Okay, thank you. And thank you for putting me back in the spot that I didn't want to be in. Very cool game. Jump up there. God damn it, I'm gonna have to die. Okay, here we go. Fuck. Shit sucks, man. The game says to die, yes. Apparently. It was pushing me towards death.
Press the circle to enter the vault.
I got it, Bentley.
A little bit of higher mathematics and voila! Dial in 314.
What we get?
Outstanding! You've uncovered Rob McCooper's patented explosive hat technique. Use the triangle button to toss your cap. Then use the triangle button again to detonate it. Better back off to
Do
a
I get it
safe
back?
distance first.
Well, it kind of sounds like a ranged attack, which is nice. Maybe. I don't know, though. It seems like all the range attackers seem to be able to throw a considerable distance. Oh. Boy, that was the biggest popcorn fart I've ever seen. Oh, great. I gotta go through this crap again. Oh. By explosive, they mean put some sand in there. It wasn't very impressive, was it? I mean, it doesn't go very far. Yeah, look, like right in front of you, basically. I mean, the quick ability just calls it mine, so that's essentially what it is. I guess if an enemy walks over your position. But yeah, look at that. It blows a little dust. I doubt that would even kill anything. I'm expecting like this massive explosion or something like that. Ugh. Nah. Who needs it? Mugshots turf, eh? Let's take a look at what this looks like. Let's see. What are we looking at here? There's a casino. Somehow the lettering is floating above the building. There doesn't seem to be anything stabilizing it there. Yeah, no grenade gloves, unfortunately. Yeah, this looks interesting. I like the bridge that goes to nowhere, especially. It's like Vegas, but not as fun. Okay. Really quit? I mean, save and quit, yeah? Is there an option to just say? Oh yeah, there's an option just to save. Okay, I wasn't sure if this game like auto-saved or not. I don't trust games in this era. Because this is at that point where it was like sometimes they auto-save, but then sometimes they don't. And you never really know. Obviously, if this was the HD collection or whatever, it would be auto-saving, but... You know, if it was a game that didn't auto-save. I'm making up scenarios that aren't exactly happening, but you get my meaning. We've been playing this for 2 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to Jack, so give me a sec. I just gotta exit to the XMV. I don't think I'm gonna do anything too major here, but I'm still gonna throw up the BRB, because we don't see the BRB enough, so... give me a sec, and I will be right back. We'll do some Jack and Daxter. Pretty good game so far, though. I've been digging it.